I survived San Diego Comic-Con. Let's talk about it. What's up, super friends? Jake here with the Brave and the Boys, and we returned a week ago from San Diego Comic-Con. Now, I have been to a small, maybe medium number of comic conventions, whether it be WonderCon, whether it be Heroes Con, but I have never tackled the beast of San Diego Comic-Con. And I somehow manifested law of attraction, pulled a Comic-Con trip out of my butt, and I am so happy that I did. We were talking back and forth about how amazing it would be for us to go network at Comic-Con and meet publishers and meet creators. And unfortunately, Comic-Con sells out like instantly. And there's no buying or reselling of aftermarket tickets, so there was no possible way we could have done it. But every day I woke up and I was like, today's the day I'm finding out I'm going to Comic-Con. And lo and behold, we got an email like a week before Comic-Con saying, hey, would you like to buy 2 retail tickets from San Diego Comic-Con? And we had to scramble to put together a trip in a week. Now, for those of you that don't know, Comic-Con is usually planned out well in advance, but you know what? We did it and we survived. So the way Comic-Con works is regular Comic-Con is Thursday through Sunday, but if you're in the industry, like you have a podcast or you're an exhibitor or you're a retailer like we are, you have access to preview night. Now, if preview night was any indication, we had no idea what we were in for, because preview night, the night that it's not even open to the general public, had more people than I'd ever seen at a comic convention. And we were wildly unprepared, but we got our badges, got back to our hotel, which was a little janky, but you know, that's what happens when you book a hotel in San Diego a week before Comic-Con. All the good ones are sold out, but still thank you. It was nice to not have to drive an hour to Comic-Con or 2 hours of Comic-Con each day. So we go back to preview night. Jordan has his rolling cart. I just have a backpack full of my Tom King books because I wanted to knock out my Tom King signatures and then be free the rest of the week. So this was cool because I've interviewed Tom a few times, and I'd like to think we're starting to become acquaintances, or I'm like that annoying little friend that won't go away. But I didn't know, what it was gonna, because I've never met a creator that I've interviewed before in person after I've interviewed them. So I go up to Tom's table and Tom goes, Jake, so excited to see me. I was the second person in line, and I go to give him a handshake and he goes, oh, we don't have to, we can hug. And he gives me a big hug. Turns to Jordan. Jordan goes, we probably need a handshake, and they handshake, and it was fun. But I got my Tom King book signed, and what was really cool is if it's the first book he signed for that convention. So for me, it was the first Up in the Sky Deluxe Edition and the first Animal Pound. He wrote a #1 in the book to showcase that it was the first time he signed that book for that convention. And Jordan was like, wow, this kind of sucks that I was behind Jake in line, So he put a #2 in Jordan's Up in the Sky. And the other signatures I wanted was Billquis Evely and Matt Lopez, the artist and colorist on Helen and Supergirl, but sadly they were not there that night. So after getting our Tom signatures and getting to say hi to Mitch, which was awesome, we met up with our friend Paul and we wandered around. We got to see awesome things like the Alex Ross photo album or museum, whatever you want to call it. Kind of bummed Alex Ross wasn't there, but could you imagine how his line would be? We were stumbling around. We ran into the Ghost Machine booth. I met Geoff Johns, which was awesome. I got to tell him what his work meant to me and get the card to his marketing manager. So Ghost Machine, I can't wait to do my second interview with you guys. Be on the lookout for that, which I'm really excited for. And I just got to be honest, so overwhelming. Even on preview night, you could barely walk anywhere without getting stumbled over, and you add in a rolling cart, it made it a lot harder. But we did our best. We explored. We saw awesome things, and we were like, you know what? Let's go home, let's go to sleep, and let's come back bright and early the next day. What is up, super friends? I am coming at you at the start of the first official day of San Diego Comic-Con. So this is like one of those confession cam portions in reality TV shows. Maybe I'm watching too much Love Island, but I just gotta say, man, this trip is already not going well. Jordan is already getting on my nerves, and you know what? I think I'm just going to film everything on my own now, we'll see how it goes.
Guys, it's still day 1. Morale's low. We haven't even gone to the convention center. I don't know if Jake's going to make it. There's toxic mutiny. Hope to see you for day 2.
The next day we get there, a little before it opens. They see me with a rolling cart, Jordan with all his camera gear, and they say, hey, you can come inside. And mind you, this is before it opened, and Jordan got stuck in the regular line. They wouldn't let me take him with me. And again, this was a situation where I was not supposed to be inside yet, but they assumed because of the rolling cart and retail on my badge that I should have been there. So I go to get into the actual convention hall before it opens, and they tell me, no, you can't come in. So I go, well, I'm not gonna go back outside. So I just keep going down this, and Comic-Con is like miles long. I go to every single door, and finally the last door goes, oh, you're a retailer? Come on in. And they let me in, and I text Jordan and I go, hey man, where you at? And he goes, I have to walk like miles. It's gonna be like 40 minutes until I'm inside. So sorry, Jordan, but thank you for holding down the fort. Now, none of this stuff we have footage for, but I ran straight to the DC section. Now, the DC section was massive. It had this awesome mural from New History of the DC Universe, which if you wanna see me interview Mark Waid and talk about it, you can watch that here. And they had the actual suit from Superman by James Gunn, and they had exclusive merch such as this hat and this shirt and this standard hardcover with the Jim Lee variant cover. Yes, and Jordan's Batman hat. So, wow, he's shaking his head no at me. So I wait in line. I buy more stuff than I probably should with the justification that, yes, IRS, and I made this joke in another video. Now that I'm wearing it in a video and I'm talking about it, it's content, it's a tax write-off, or at least that's what I'm telling my wife. So we made it in, and that already was a mission because we have retail badges, and we don't really know what that means because we're not professional, but we're not exhibitors, we're not regular. But having a carrying case made us look official. I got waved on through. I got in before it even opened, and Jordan got taken by the wolves. So our mission right now is we're gonna try to see if we can get any creator interviews, if we can get any connects at Boom or Dark Horse or anything like that, and let's see what we can do. So let's come on. Oh, actually, let me show off some things I got. I got this hat from DC, and I'll edit this out so my wife doesn't see this part. I got a Vertigo shirt. I got an Absolute Batman shirt. And lastly, the Jim Lee exclusive Absolute Batman Volume 1, which I hope to get signed by as many people today as I can. So I went back and forth on, do I buy the standard size hardcover? Because it was $50, but it had an exclusive Jim Lee variant cover, and I had to do it because both the writer Scott Snyder and the artist Nick Dragotta were both gonna be there, and I could get them both signed. And they're the only copy I had, because I don't think the standard size hardcovers come out. I have a galley copy that you're not supposed to sell that Panel Bound Comics sent me, so that is exciting, but I don't really want to get a galley copy signed. So we do that. Jordan finally gets inside. We walk around, we wander around, we go on adventures, we try to film content, and we didn't really know what to do. We did stop by Billquis and Matt Lopez's booth, and I did get an amazing remark that I totally put on the company card because I was like, JP, I got a network, man. I got to talk to the artist. And it was cool because she shared our Instagram work that Jordan and I have done, photo shoots and book sizzle reels, and she got to know who we were, and we got to tell her how much her work meant to both of us. And she gave us both a remark. Again, Jordan had to pay for his. I put mine on the company card, but you know, who's keeping track? Go comment down below if that was a good idea or if I'm gonna get fired. So that was fun. We met them. It was incredible, and we wandered around. And our big goal was to meet Scott Snyder because he's on my Mount Rushmore of people I would love to interview. And I got this serendipitous email right before Comic-Con where Scott Snyder has a Substack, and he said if you join his premium Substack called the Best Jackets Club, you can get front of the line at any of his signings for $7. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Scott Snyder's a little popular right now, so we definitely booked that. Before we went to Scott, we went to Nick Dragotta signing at the Felix Art booth, and I got my compendium of East of West signed and remarked, and I got signatures on my Absolute Batman #1. Jordan bought a copy of it with the awesome cover and a remark, and I got the standard size hardcover signed, and then we were ready. Oh, I forgot one thing we missed. We had just missed Daniel Warren Johnson. His line was capped, and that's the running thing. Anytime you see an awesome line for something great at Comic-Con, you go to walk up, and there's someone with a sign going, the line is capped, the line is capped, and you're like, oh, okay. They're like, it's capped, bro, it's capped, and you're like, that just means they're not accepting new people in the line, and like anywhere you go, you just see this like big dude with a sign going, yo, it's capped, bro. Like that is what Comic-Con is in a nutshell. So we get the Dragotta signature. So we're front of line Scott. Tom sees us, walks over, we get up to Scott, and Tom goes, Scott, this is Jake. You got to be on his show. It's amazing. He'll help you sell so many books. And he totally wingmaned me to Scott Snyder. I got a picture of the two of them. It was amazing. Scott was so cool. He was like, do you want to do an in-person interview at New York Comic-Con? Do you want to do an online remote one? Super cool. So be on the lookout for a Scott Snyder interview. Shouts out to my bestie, Tom King. That's how, he wingmaned me to another creator. I mean, think, how few writers have written a Batman #1, and we got a photo of 2 writers of a Batman #1. That is legendary. Hey everyone, I'm with friend of the channel, Tom King. Tom, how's your Comic-Con going?
It's going super well. It's really, it's excellent.
That's awesome,
This is
man.
the first con I've got to sign with Billquis and Matt, and the first con since we announced Mr. Miracle.
It was really cool getting to meet them and show them like, hey, you've seen our stuff on Instagram. Like, it was us that did it. They were very cool people. Okay, so I want to ask you.
What's up?
2 questions. First, what would you say your most underrated book is? If you could give some love to a book of yours that you think maybe more people should check out, what would you say?
Gotham City Year One, I think, is something I absolutely adore. It was incredibly fun to write.
Yeah.
And people love that. Yeah, that's very underrated. I also think I did a book Love Everlasting for Image.
Yes.
And I think the 2nd volume of Love Everlasting is the best thing I ever.
Are we ever going to get volume 3 of the trade? Did you ever finish the paperwork?
Yes, I finished the paperwork.
Okay.
Yes, volume 3 is solicited. I've seen the cover. It looks really.
I can't believe that's getting a movie, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that's getting a movie. Yeah, but
okay.
Those 2 stand out.
Last question I'll ask you. What is one book not written by you that you think more people should check out?
Elfquest by Wendy. I grew up on that book, and I still think I just recently read it. I think it's giants. By Wendy and Richard Penny.
Awesome, man. Okay, so I'll teach you my catchphrase. At the end of videos, I go, keep reading, and then the other person says, stay brave.
Okay.
So keep reading.
Stay bold.
Oh, that's Jordan's catchphrase.
Oh, that's Jordan. That's all.
Everyone does that to me. Okay, thanks, everyone.
Pleasure.
I have to ask you,
all right,
as an artist, an Eisner-winning artist, which Pokemon do you think you could draw best?
Ooh.
If you could design one Pokemon card for you or your son, what would you draw?
Well, that's a different question.
Okay. So which Pokemon could you draw best? Yeah, okay.
Crushes Zekrom. For my son, it would have to be Pikachu. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, and then I guess sometimes they do themed Pikachus where he's wearing like a hat or a Santa. What would your themed Pikachu be? And probably can't have Pikachu drinking an old fashioned.
True. Pikachu in the Mr. Miracle outfit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see Mr. Miracle wearing a Pikachu t-shirt.
Have you read
I
that
don't know how
book?
to combine that. Pikachu and slit
Just
wrist.
Pikachu looking out of a window during the rain crying.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
See, that's a gold.
It
Buy
wins awards already. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
man. Friday, we waited in line together. I did the big walk of shame with the regular people. We didn't have a rolling cart this day. Our main goal for Friday was to go to the publisher meetings and to get Jordan his Daniel Warren Johnson signature and me to get my Tynion signature. So when we first get in, I race down to the image booth, and you basically what you do is you get a bracelet if you were there first, and that assures you a spot in line. You still have to wait in the line, but that's how they know that you were really anxious to get the signature. And I'm so grateful for James Tynion because he wrote the first comic that my wife ever loved. So I knew I had to meet him, and we needed to get Jordan a Daniel Warren Johnson signature on his last day. So Jordan goes and waits in Daniel Warren Johnson's line. I go in the Tynion line. I go up to meet Tynion. I tell him how much his work's meant to me, how much I think Rise and Fall of the Batman might be is the definitive Bat Family book. We gushed about it. And I told him about how much his work means to me because my wife loves it. And I asked him, would you sign my deluxe Something is Killing the Children to my wife? And he goes, of course. What's her name? And I go, Jake. And he's like, no, her name. And I go, sorry, Jess. And he signs it. And then I say, would you have someone on your team in marketing I can talk to? I met his marketing rep. We exchanged business cards, and she said that they would love to do more stuff on YouTube. So maybe, I'm not counting that one before it hatches, but maybe you'll see a Tiny Youngin interview. That would be amazing. And then I go back in line. Jordan's next in line for Daniel Warren Johnson. I get to be there to see, explain what his work means to him. He got an awesome remark of Merv in his Murder Falcon, which is awesome, and I was really happy for him. We make it to the publisher meeting. That was awesome. We got all these sneak peeks of books like Speed Racer and the new Rick Remender book Escape. We got all, it felt really fancy. And then then we went home, changed, and went out to Lunar, which is the distributor of Image and DC and Abrams and Clover Press and all those things. And we go to a meet and greet mixer, which was fun because booze were free. Now, y'all know I'm sober, so when we walk in and the guy's having a platter of old fashioned and Jordan grabs one, what do? I grab one too, because waste not, want not. So Jordan had to start the mixer off with double old fashions. We met people, we meet and greeted, and it was cool because I got to see like how big of an industry the comic industry really is. Afterwards, we were like, let's go back to the room, and Jordan's feeling a little good, and he's like, we're two dudes in San Diego, let's explore. So we ended up at a nightclub with Mexican food, and that's not a bad way to end the night. We got to meet all these amazing creators. I got to interview Tyler Kirkham, which is doing the exclusive cover of the Marvel art of Tyler Kirkham. He gave me his phone number. I think we're gonna hang out someday. Today we have the amazing, legendary Tyler Kirkham. What is the secret to making a amazing cover?
Oh man, I mean, my first goal is to try to create something that's gonna pop off the stands.
Yeah.
Because I try to imagine someone walking into a comic shop and there's rows of comics.
Yeah.
How do I draw their eye to that one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or if they're browsing online through Instagram, stopping them in their place and finding out how do I order that. Just getting something that's like dynamic, full of energy, or something recognizable like a homage or whatever, and just, and hopefully getting them to pique their interest and possibly hopefully order it, you know.
And then we met with some DC creators, which was awesome. So Dan Slott, we go back in time. In WonderCon, he drew me a Silver Surfer in my Silver Surfer book and said, if you ever meet Mike Allred, have him fix it. I got to show that to Mike Allred at Heroes Con, and he goes, what are you talking? Fix it? And he wrote, it's a masterpiece all over the book, and drew some arrows and stuff. I got to show Dan that. Jordan got to meet Dan Jurgens. I got to give my card to someone at DC that does interviews. So that was awesome. And then that night we met up with our friend Chris, who would be my sub-in for Jordan. And we went out to a nice restaurant. They got like cheeseburgers. I bought a giant sushi platter for the table and ate it all myself because I was feeling so good. Now, Saturday morning came, Jordan had to leave, and I went to Comic-Con. And I was... What's up, guys? So this is a live reaction of Saturday, which by far is the busiest day. Each day just gets busier. My feet hurt, I'm tired, but I am marching on. There are connections to be made and comics to buy and OPB money to spend. I will keep trucking on for you. Okay, so today is a Frank Miller signature day. I have 3 books I want to get signed: Absolute Dark Knight Returns, Absolute Batman Year One, and Daredevil Born Again, but I could only afford 2 signatures, so I don't know what I'm gonna do, but maybe I'll buy a 3rd one. I don't know, let's see what happens. I'd brought 3 books, and I didn't know what to do, but I bought a signature because I couldn't not get a Frank Miller signature, but I couldn't spend $300 on signatures. Saturday morning, I'm going back and forth. Do I choose the Born Again Omnibus? Do I choose Dark Knight Returns, Year One? How do you choose one book to get signed by one of the GOATs, someone up there with Alan Moore? I think he's so revolutionary. Now, here's what I want to say. I'm not going to lecture anyone, but I know a lot of people like to hate on Frank Miller now, but think of the groundbreaking stuff he did, and let's just be happy that this creator still exists. These creators aren't going to be around forever. When you see a cover that you might not like of Wolverine or Batman fighting Deadpool, just be happy that Frank is still getting work, because when I saw him, he did not look like he was doing well. So when I got back to the day that Saturday, I go up to them and I say, if they're selling 1 more ticket, I'll buy a 2nd ticket. I'll get 2 of my 3 books signed. I bought a 2nd ticket. It's about 9:45. There's already a line for Frank Miller. He's not signing till 11:15. I go, you know what? I'm just gonna wait in line and not have to spend the rest of my day waiting in line for Frank Miller. So I waited in line. During the line, I look over and I see someone tall, and I see it's my buddy Sal from Comic Pop, who is someone that I've always looked up to as someone who helped support our channel when we were smaller, and then someday we got to help support his work when we were bigger. So I ran over, got to meet Sal, we took a picture together, I get back in line, and it was cool because this was the one time I was talking to my line buddy. At Comic-Con, you'll make line buddies, and you talk about things. I mentioned my channel and stuff, and he was polite about it. And then someone comes by and goes, Jake from The Brave and the Boys. And I had inspired him to the world of absolutes. He had an absolute and the artist edition of Year One for Frank to sign. That's how you know he watches this channel. So, and that made my line buddy go, wow, this guy really does have a YouTube channel. So I make my way, so Frank gets there, and they were very strict, no photo, no video, no anything. And at the same time, I had my boy Chris across the table waiting for the Ryan Ottley, because all JP wanted was a Ryan Ottley remark as payment for going to Comic-Con. So I had to make that happen. So I'm trying to make sure everything happens at the right time. I get up to Frank and I go, hey man, you are like the greatest that ever was, and it's such a true pleasure to meet you. I have 3 books here, but I only have 2 tickets. I need you to sign Born Again. I think it's the greatest comic ever written, and I want to ask you, I can't decide, would you rather sign Year One, which I brought with the original colors, good tip Jordan, or Dark Knight Returns? And he goes, for you, I'll sign all 3. And he gave me a free signature. I got all my books signed. It was amazing. Guys, I just got to meet Frank Miller. So unfortunately, they don't allow any photography or filming of any kind. But you know what? It was a special moment for me. I only could afford, I bought a second ticket, so I had 2 books I could get signed. I knew I wanted Born Again because Daredevil, you guys know how much I love him. But I asked him, I straight up said, would you rather sign Dark Knight Returns or Year One? And he goes, for you, you seem like a real fan, a genuine fan. I'll sign all 3. Just don't tell anybody. He gave me a free signature. These things were $100 a pop. And if that wasn't enough to make me feel special, when I was in line, I got recognized. So someone was like, I love your channel. Join the Discord. So shouts out to you if you're watching this video. You made my Comic-Con. Frank Miller made my Comic-Con. This is amazing. Now let's go see if I can use the OPP credit card to buy Tyler Kirkham some beers. As soon as I was done, I traded spots with Chris, got to meet Ryan, explained to him that we've sold more Invincible than anybody else. I bought a cool print for JP. I'll put a picture of it up with Conquest, got a remark, and then I went over back to Tyler Kirkham's booth and got him to do a remark of Omni-Man, and it was super rad. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's recap some of the stuff from the past couple hours. Got signatures from Frank Miller, got JP a print and a remark from both Ryan Ottley and Tyler Kirkham, and maybe me and Tyler Kirkham are gonna go out for beers and a haunted ghost tour tonight, so that'll be fun. I'll show off what we got, JP. Amazing, the Omni-Man, the Invincible, the Conquest. After that, we met up with our friends at Mechanical Cake, and we did an interview, and that was fun. Then we met up with the people from Mad Cave. So Mad Cave, if you're watching, I can't wait to do some stuff with you soon. And then I needed an emotional support pretzel, and I am regretting all my life choices and wanting to go home. But I'm gonna drink some water, see if there's any panels. You know, I need a panel to sit. It could be it could be a panel on the phone book. I just need to sit for a little bit. So Jake, when you're editing, you did this, keep working hard. We did everything we wanted to do. I met and did an interview with the people at Mechanical Cake. So we have an amazing gentleman here from Mechanical Cake. Tell them who you are and what you do, and let's just talk about this amazing stuff.
Well, my name's Anthony Francisco, and I was a co-creator and designer of Baby Groot, all the Groots. I was a former Marvel Studios visual development artist for like 9 years.
Wow.
So I designed Loki, the Taserface, Dora Milaje.
What's the most obscure character you helped design? Like, is there a background character in a movie that's like your secret favorite?
Actually, there is one that but not for Marvel. It was for Men in Black 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the shark character in the airport scene. That one was my favorite design, and you saw it for just a few seconds.
What is Mechanical Cake? What are they about? And then what do you do?
So Mechanical Cake, we're like a group of people that want to do our own thing.
Yeah.
And do our own IPs. So we, Jesse Negron and Tom Saunders came up with the company and had talked to me about maybe putting some of my ideas, some of my IPs I've been pitching around.
Yeah.
But now it's like, what if I make it into a comic book first, or make it into so it's out there, and I have to not ask for permission anymore.
Right.
And just do this. So maybe in the future you'll see something by me.
So talk to me about Maudeville, who you're partnered up with that, who's, kind of the mind behind that.
So Maudeville is Ridley Scott's first comic book.
Yeah.
That they're partnering up with Mechanical Cake, which is Jesse and David Elliott, their chief editor in chief. Sorry.
Editor in chief.
Dyslexic.
Chief editor in chief.
Yes,
right?
that's like a chief editor in chief. Yes. So yeah, he's taking care of all the comic books, which is this now with Johnny Depp.
Yes, Hyde,
Scott.
the other one you're doing is with Johnny Depp,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is Ridley also attached to that? Or
Ridley's also attached.
Nice, okay, cool.
So now you have 2 properties that have Ridley in it, and one with Johnny Depp and Ridley. So I think that's why it's very different, very cool for us to do a brand new take on Hyde.
Mechanical Cake was started by Ridley Scott for his comic book Maudeville, and their next comic, which is Hyde, done by Johnny Depp. So these were awesome. I got to interview the person who designed Baby Groot. That is their production designer, and I'll put some snippets of the interview here, but I'll post that separately. So check out the stuff that Mechanical Cake is doing. They're awesome. I want to do a better job on this channel of highlighting indie comics. I know you love DC. Clearly, I love DC too, but I want to try to support smaller publishers and indie people. I also had a meeting with publishers. Some of that stuff I can't talk about because it's exclusive things that we can't announce yet, but it was the most productive Comic-Con, or sorry, most productive convention I ever did for my channel. I survived. My feet still hurt a week later, but thank you so much for watching. I hope this video turns out well. Keep reading and stay brave.